Last month, I asked 100 people to describe how they felt about their daily lives. I was stunned when I read their responses. Know what the most common word was? Numb. The second most common? Autopilot. We're living in what psychologists call a psychological gap. That weird space where clarity and joy should be. These people transformed after trying the simple 3-step process I'm about to share. One woman called me in tears saying, "I finally feel alive again." Her story wasn't unique. So many experienced this awakening. Want to know what changed everything for them? What pulled them from emptiness back to vibrant living? Hi. Hey everyone, it's Damon. Have you ever watched a child's face light up when they see something as simple as a butterfly? That pure, unfiltered joy is something most of us haven't felt in years. Remember when you were little and everything seemed magical? When sunlight filtering through leaves created dancing patterns that could fascinate you for hours? When puddles weren't just water on the ground, but doorways to other worlds? It's crazy how differently we experience those same things today. We rush past trees without a second glance, feel annoyed when rain creates puddles in our path, and barely notice butterflies. Our minds are too occupied with to-do lists, emails, and social media to actually see the world around us. Our digital devices and packed schedules have erected a wall between us and the wonder that still exists everywhere. I still remember spending hours as a 7-year-old in my backyard after a rainstorm, creating tiny leaf boats to float down the miniature rivers that formed along the sidewalk. Each voyage was a brand new adventure that filled me with excitement. That same sidewalk today, just concrete I walk on to get to my car. Research shows that children experience wonder in a completely different way than adults. Their brains are literally wired to notice details we miss. They see the tiny sparkles in sidewalk concrete that our adult eyes filter out. They find absolute joy in repetition. That do it again phenomenon happens because each time feels new to them. G.K. Chesterton pointed out that grown-up people are not strong enough to exult in monotony. This reveals something profound. Children possess emotional strength that allows them to find wonder in the same thing repeatedly, while we need constant novelty because we've weakened in this crucial way. I realized I was living in what psychologists call an ellipsis, that gap where clarity and joy should be. I stood in front of my bathroom mirror and asked, "Who are you?" and got nothing back. Just empty eyes. That hollow feeling hit me hard. Where was the person who used to get excited about thunderstorms and starry nights? This emptiness sparked my search for what I'd lost. We lose our wonder through a combination of numbness to repetition, constant overstimulation, and forgetting how to truly see what's around us because we're focused on what's next. But that sense of wonder isn't gone forever. It's still there, buried under adult responsibilities and distractions. Science has proven we can recapture it through a simple 3-step process that retrains our brains. When you start practicing these steps, the magic quickly returns to your everyday life. That warm feeling when a friend unexpectedly remembers your birthday, or when someone goes out of their way to help you, that's not just a nice emotion. It's actually your first doorway back to experiencing wonder in your everyday life. Gratitude is far more powerful than most of us realize. It's a psychological tool that can literally rewire our brains to notice beauty and joy that's been there all along. According to research from UC Berkeley, practicing genuine gratitude is like putting on glasses that suddenly bring the world into focus. Here's the problem though. Most of us are doing gratitude all wrong. We've turned it into another checkbox on our to-do list. Yep, wrote 3 things I'm grateful for today. Done. But that mechanical approach is exactly why it doesn't work. It becomes just another task instead of a heart experience. Rachel, at 38, described herself as completely numb to life. Nothing excited her anymore. Not vacations, achievements, or even her favorite foods. Everything felt flat. Her life transformed when she discovered the 5-minute feeling practice, which focuses on experiencing emotions rather than listing items of gratitude. This practice connects directly to what science tells us about our brains. Craig Anderson's research at Berkeley shows that experiencing genuine gratitude activates the same neural pathways that light up during moments of awe and wonder. When you practice deep gratitude, you're actually training your brain to experience wonder again. The 5-minute feeling exercise is simple but powerful. Find a quiet spot and close your eyes. Recall a specific moment when you felt truly connected to life. Maybe hearing whales communicate underwater, a special moment with a grandchild, or watching sunlight filter through leaves on a perfect afternoon. Don't just remember these moments. Really feel them in your body. Notice the warmth spreading across your chest, or that lightness in your shoulders. Stay with those physical sensations. You're creating new neural pathways that make wonder more accessible in everyday life. I've seen this transform people's lives in as little as 2 weeks. One man told me, "I used to walk past the same trees every day without noticing them. Now I see how the bark creates amazing patterns. It's like I'm seeing a completely different world." The powerful connection between gratitude and magic comes from feeling appreciation so deeply that it transforms how you see everything. When you train your brain to notice what delights you, ordinary moments become extraordinary. That coffee cup's perfect weight in your hand, intricate patterns in a raindrop, your dog's ears perking up when you walk in. This practice allows us to see daily tasks with new eyes, transforming our perception from mundane to magical. What seemed like boring routine becomes filled with small wonders waiting to be discovered. While gratitude opens our eyes to magic, there's actually a second doorway that might surprise you. Humility. Our culture constantly tells us we need to be the center of everything. But what if the biggest obstacle to experiencing wonder isn't that you're missing something, but that you're focusing too much on yourself? Have you ever felt truly small in the presence of something magnificent? For years I resisted this feeling. Who wants to feel small, right? I thought embracing humility meant diminishing myself. But then something unexpected happened during a trip to Japan that completely changed my perspective. A friend convinced me to try Shinrin-yoku, forest bathing. Not actual bathing, but immersing yourself completely in a forest environment. Just 40 minutes, they said. That's all it takes. I was skeptical, but I agreed. We walked slowly through a dense forest of towering trees. No phones, no talking, just walking and breathing. The earthy scent of damp soil filled my lungs, while sunlight filtered through the canopy above. At first, I felt ridiculous, but about 20 minutes in, something shifted. Standing beneath those ancient trees, listening to leaves rustling in the breeze, something inside me relaxed in a way I hadn't experienced in years. What I didn't know then was that science backs up what I was feeling. Research by Yoshifumi Miyazaki has shown that just 40 minutes of forest bathing significantly lowers cortisol levels, reduces blood pressure, and enhances immune function. These benefits don't come from indoor activities. There's something special happening in those forests. It gets even more fascinating. Dr. Ching Li discovered that trees emit compounds called phytoncides, essentially tree essential oils. When we breathe these in, they actually alter our blood composition, enhancing our immune response. Now your body literally changes among trees. During my forest experience, I wasn't the main character in my own story. I was just a tiny part of something much bigger. And in that moment of feeling small, I paradoxically felt more connected to everything around me. Research from UC San Francisco confirms this effect. Adults who took weekly awe walks reported significantly increased positive emotions and reduced distress. When we embrace humility, we transform from consumers of the world to grateful receivers. Like a tiny seed drawing life from the forest floor, we grow not by dominating our surroundings, but by connecting with something greater. The relationship between humility and wonder is profound. When we step out of the spotlight, we finally see the magic that's been there all along. The magic of humility opens doors, but there's something else children possess that most adults have trained themselves to abandon. Ever notice how a kid can get enthralled by the same storybook night after night while you're scrolling through streaming services feeling nothing will satisfy you? That gap is about hope. Hope is an active practice, a deliberate choice to look forward with expectation. When we approach each day with genuine anticipation, we transform our entire experience from merely surviving to actively engaging with life's possibilities. Here's the problem though. Many of us have actually trained ourselves to expect the worst. We think we're protecting ourselves from disappointment. If I don't get my hopes up, I can't get hurt. Sound familiar? But that self-protective stance completely shuts down our capacity for wonder. Christine Kane's story illustrates this perfectly. At an amusement park, she got stuck in frustration over a disappointing ride, while her young daughter immediately bounced to the next adventure with excitement. Children haven't developed our adult habit of guarding against disappointment. Their resilience is like a spark that continuously reignites their sense of wonder. That's why the third essential step in our wonder practice is deliberately cultivating hope. And it only takes 5 minutes a day. Here's how our complete 15-minute wonder ritual works. 5 minutes feeling genuine gratitude, 5 minutes connecting with nature to foster humility, and 5 minutes imagining possibilities with childlike anticipation. This is an abstract pause of thinking. It's reconnecting with feelings of joy from your past and projecting them into your future. I've witnessed remarkable transformations in people committed to this practice. Michael described himself as emotionally flatlined for years, but after 3 weeks he called me in tears because he'd found himself spontaneously laughing at his dog, chasing its tail, something that would have barely registered before. Samantha spent most of her adult life just getting through the day. After implementing this practice, she began noticing sunlight patterns on her kitchen floor, something happening every day for years that she'd never really seen. Here's what is happening. This 3-step process is retraining your brain. The gratitude practice activates awareness of beauty already present. The humility practice connects you to something larger. And the hope practice opens you to possibilities rather than limitations. Together, they transform ordinary days into opportunities for magic. Not because your circumstances have dramatically changed, but because your perception has. You've rebuilt the bridge between yourself and wonder. Here's the thing. The journey to rediscover wonder is better when shared. As we've seen throughout, building a community around this practice takes everything to a whole new level. When you connect with others who share the same goal, your daily moments of magic become amplified. Think about finding a partner for your daily 5-minute practice. As Connie Hertz suggests, sharing this transformative journey together dramatically increases your chances of success because we're wired for connection. When someone asks, "Hey, did you notice anything magical today?" it keeps the practice alive. What everyday wonder will you rediscover first? Share your magical moment in the comments below and join our community of wonder seekers. Stay blessed by the best.